So, last week, we talked about failure. But now, we are going to talk about success. Everyone say hi, YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Hello. And the reason my controller is broken the way it is here is because we did indeed win CEO this weekend, Community Effort Orlando 2025. It's an event that I haven't won in like 6 years, so to speak. So the point was, I took all of my anger and frustration from the week prior, getting my worst ever placement in my entire career, sitting here talking about the exact same thing, and now we are here. We're in the mix, and we actually came back home to a CEO trophy, which was really, really cool. Now, why I want to emphasize this win, even though you might not consider it a major, as I said earlier, there was 13K viewers for Grands. I tried very, very hard, and the year prior, Wizzy beat me by coming back from losers and resetting me and then beating me in the exact same way after me not clutching out a certain game. So it was almost going to be a repeat of that exact same situation, but I was able to prevent it, and Wizzy being one of my 3 demons in Cody, Zane, Wizzy that I'm usually used to losing to, that to me was a very, very big deal. It would have been one thing if I won CEO by like maybe beating Moth twice or Panda or whoever it was, but the fact that I did it by beating Wizzy in Grands made it that much more significant for me. We started out by going into the set with Laud. I had to fight Laud in winner's semis, and everyone thinks, oh, it's Peach Puff, it's gonna be no problem at all, you're gonna sweep that, it's fine. But you guys don't understand, Laud had beaten me pretty badly in ranked online melee the week prior to it, so I already knew I was getting into a pretty hard matchup, and it was immediately hard. I realized after game 1 he was just gonna camp me and do a lot of things worse, and I had to really, really earn every single kill. I had to time him out. The matchup is nowhere near as easy as it used to be or as what people thought it was. And the reason is Laud has his frame perfect reaction time. He'll parry every single obvious back air, every single obvious fair, and make your life a living hell, especially if he gets a lead. So getting that first stock to every single match was very, very important. And there was actually a mid-set pop-off, because similar to my set with Triff, when you see your opponent get a stitch or some kind of trade, and you're able to get a read, a low percent rest kill on Peach, that's a massive deal, because Peach is forced to chase you. So similar to when we fought at Genesis, I think 2 or 3 years prior, Laud and I were forcing each other, one to chase the other, and that's where I went there too. I ended up winning that set, and I was just ultimately super relieved, because I was ready to fight Moth or Wizzy. I'd much rather fight Moth or Wizzy than Laud playing that well, and I ended up fighting Moth. Now during my set against Moth, actually, let's rewind. Before I even fought Moth, before I even fought Laud, I fought Captain G. Captain G is a very, very good Falcon player from Florida. He's like the second, I guess the 3rd best Falcon in Florida if you count Wizzy and Gatsu, but he is a monster. He took me to game 5, I think, with 2 stocks remaining, and my controller, famously there, was already bugging during that top 48 match versus Captain G. We fought a few times online too, you probably remember me fighting him, but he took me to the absolute limit. He was playing very, very well, which is kind of crazy, because I already knew, I was like, damn, if Captain G's Falcon is giving me this much trouble, I'm probably going to be in really big trouble when I fight Wizzy. But it ended up working out. I used a backup controller that the TO gave me. I forget his name, but thank you. He was actually the guy who handed me the belt, the CEO belt. That tall guy, he was the guy who gave me his controller. So props to him. I forget his name, but I'm going to remember what it is when I go back and figure this out. And then I tried getting this piece of shit fob controller fixed. I remember I put out a tweet, and I was like, if anyone here is a controller modder at CEO, please come find me in the middle of the venue. Please come find me. And I did, and he came through, and he fixed my controller free of charge. It was fine. I used it for my set against Laud, but then the issues started happening again. And you'll notice a certain... Look at this now. This shit is cooked. Anyways, the reason is I was playing against Laud, and you'll notice there's certain parts of the set where I start slamming my controller. I'm sure the editor's going to show you right here what I mean, because my shield was hard stuck, and for some reason it wouldn't get unstuck. The button wasn't stuck, the button was clicking and fine, but the controller for some reason was inputting a hard shield input, and of course if you try moving around when you're holding R, you just start rolling everywhere, you can't jump, you're screwed. So all I could do was mash it as hard as I could and pray. And it ended up working. Now, Laud, I just ended up getting out of that situation. We go to winners finals, and it happened again versus Moth, and there was a very pivotal game 3 on Pokemon Stadium. And I wanted to take a quick shout out to really thank Moth here, because Moth could have easily taken that stock and just really gone up, grabbed me, done anything. I was dead. I was dead because my controller was locked. It was a trigger lock controller. She could have gone up, grabbed me, back through. There's nothing I could do. There's no inputs I could have done to save my life. Instead, Moth, being an incredible sports person, noticed my controller was fucking up, and she moved her Popo to the other side of the stage, let me unplug and re-plug back in with a separate controller. I ended up winning that match somehow by the skin of my teeth. I was doing misinputs all over the place. Yeah, honestly, without Moth giving me the fairness that she did, I probably would not have won CEO. So this victory is as much hers as it is mine. There's a lot of other people who would not do that same level of sportsmanship to me, but she was honestly an amazing sport for it. So thank you very much to Moth. We ended up going to game 5. Shoot, it goes game 5 last stock. Me versus Moth. I'm still using the backup controller. I'm doing some misinputs. I'm getting some decent reads on Nana here and there. She ends up ending the set by doing a missed recovery. She was going for this perfectly spaced side B recovery with Nana and Popo. That would have been a great punish to me, but just undershot it. And there was no pop-off. There was only sadness. It was one of the ugliest sets I think I've ever played. I didn't even feel good about winning it. But I found myself in Grands. And I already knew I was playing shaky. I had a backup controller. It wasn't looking too great. Grand Finals happens, and the reason I call this video, something about success, is that Wizzy, in the first set of Grand Finals, beat me harder than anyone ever. I legitimately think that was my worst set ever. It was a 3-0 with a 4-stock and a broken controller in between. I really am having trouble of thinking of a worse set. There's probably some that happened. I'm sure it was. But anyways, in terms of recent times, that was the worst one in years. So you have to imagine me sitting there, right? I'm sitting down. I made it to Grands of CEO. My usual demon is there, about to once again take another CEO over me. My girlfriend's watching me in the crowd. And fun fact, it was my girlfriend's birthday weekend also. And I ended up, she wanted to watch me win Grands. Her flight was during Grands. And I ended up paying for a flight change for her so she could watch Grands and then fly home that night. Because I figured, you know what's a better birthday present than getting to win a major in front of you again? So I changed her flight. I said, fuck it, let's do it. And then I'm getting 3-0'd 4-stock. I'm just sitting there in my chair, reeling into it. And I'm really thinking. And then I ask, does anyone have headphones? Anyone, right? No one had headphones. I looked here, I looked there. There was no headphones. Everyone was missing their headphones. Julie, being the great girlfriend that she is, ends up fighting someone in the crowd who had headphones, but these headphones were respectfully dog shit. I'm still happy we got them. Shout outs to whoever who gave me the headphones, but they were some of the shittiest headphones I've ever used in my life. You know the ones that you put on in the airport? They give you like the disposable airport headphones, and you can hear everything, and it sounds like a very tin fuzzy thing. I did max volume on those headphones, and they were Bluetooth, right? So I thought to myself, fuck, I gotta sync my phone, I gotta Bluetooth it, I gotta do this and that. But luckily, I thought to myself, you know what? Wizzy usually makes me wait 13 minutes before the set starts. I'm sure Wizzy wouldn't mind if I make him wait 13 minutes before the next set starts. So I thought that to myself. So I opened up my phone, I went to Bluetooth, and the thing is, I was in the middle of CEO. There was like 17 different Bluetooth sources that popped up, and I didn't know which one were the headphones. And I looked at one logo. It said E7 something. I looked around it. These were old, tattered up headphones by some fan. And I barely made out the logo. It was an E logo Bluetooth. Probably like some Chinese brand. I don't know what it was. I clicked it. First try, Bluetooth connected. I'm like, okay. I put the music in. Of course, I put on the song that I played at Genesis to win the whole thing, right? And chat, I shit you not. This is how loud the song sounded in my ears. Ready? Everyone raise up your volume. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, you don't hear it? Oh, that's kind of funny. And I was able to catch my footing just a little bit, right? I was getting my groove a little bit. And I remember I took a deep breath and I told myself one thing, right? Remember that chart I tweeted out? Remember that intelligence chart? Where I was trying to figure out why I lost tipped off so badly. This is why losing causes wins. I'm telling you, this win would not have happened had I not gotten fucked tipped off. This chart, all right? So on the left is me, the guy who looks like, you know, a bald-headed dude. That's me in 07. The guy in the middle who looks like Mewtwo King with a little bit more hair, that was me at tipped off. What frustrated, using all these new tactics, trying to figure out why I lost. And the guy in the far right, that's me today. That's me today. Because it turns out when you look at things in a more difficult perspective, you end up forgetting the simplicity behind it. And that's what it was. I forgot the simplicity behind it. And as a result, I got screwed, dude. I got screwed. I forgot what good melee was like. I camped and I frustrated people. And I made them approach me. And that's what I did. Starting game one, the same thing I did. I just started camping. I started playing a lot more slow and careful and not rushing against a charging bull. And people this time were cheering for me, and that was pretty awesome. So I kept doing it. And then I win game one, and then he wins game two. And then I win game three on Dreamland. Then I'm up two stocks, or I'm up pretty good on FOD, its last stock, and I drift in like an idiot, and he 0-deaths me on a dumb edge guard. And the next thing I know, it's game five against Wizzy to win CEO, that belt glistening in the distance in the corner of my eye to try to win. And I hit this banger rest, dude. I get its down throw into somehow reading he misses tech into rest raw. And then he answers right back. It's last stock each. He gets a crazy ass knee on me. Then apparently this knee, what you're gonna see in the video, Matter's gonna show me, this knee, pause, would have killed me had I been 3% higher. Someone pointed out, had I been just a little bit higher percent, had I gotten hit by that second nair, I would have died. It would have been over. And yet, I came back. I drifted down. I power shield his knee. He goes to ledge. He shields. I call out the craziest forward air. He dies. That's it. I pop off. I smack the floor. I get to win in front of Julie. And that was my best birthday gift to myself. And that is success. It's not about expecting everything to go the way you want it to go. Success is rolling with the punches. It's throwing down this fucking Horcrux controller that Mango rubbed his balls on. And as soon as I threw it down, I won CEO. It's getting rid of all the bad stuff, the bad habits, remembering why you used to win. It's taking a bad bracket and barely winning, but using those bare wins every single time to ride that momentum and go through all the way. That's what success is. It's not given to you. You stumble upwards. And so we stumbled upwards. And now I'm going to get to fix my controller. And now I have momentum. And now I have confidence for the next few tournaments. And I really do think I still have a chance of getting rank 1 this year. And so that's what success is. It's fucking upwards. Fucking upwards. You understand? You're not fucking up. You're fucking upwards. Think about it. Every single time you play Balatro and you get some crappy ass jokers to start things out, you don't want to reset the run. You think, how can I win this game? What's the game trying to tell me? You understand? You understand? That's what it is. Roll with the punches. Don't roll in from ledge. Roll with the punches. Okay? So this is good. Some of my worst gameplay followed by some of my best gameplay ever. And I really, really do want to tell you that me beating Wizzy after that mental tumble that I was in was one of the greatest comebacks mentally I've ever done in a tournament ever in my 18 years of playing, and I really do mean that. So even if it wasn't the biggest tournament, maybe if it wasn't like an official major, whatever it was, this to me was one of my most important wins ever, because I proved to myself I truly can come back from fucking anything. And that, to me, is success.